A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a shocking statement that has sent ripples through the political landscape, a senior Iranian official has openly suggested that former President Donald Trump could be targeted for assassination while he relaxes at his Florida estate, Mar-a-Lago. Javad Larijani, an advisor to Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, made these incendiary remarks during a state television broadcast, stating that Trump could face a drone strike while sunbathing. As he lies there with his stomach to the sun, a small drone might hit him in the navel. It's very simple, Larijani asserted, indicating that Trump's actions have made him a target. The threat comes at a time of heightened tensions between Iran and the United States, particularly following a recent online fundraising initiative dubbed Blood Pact, which aims to collect funds to punish those who threaten the Iranian leadership. The site has pledged to reward anyone who can bring about justice against perceived enemies of the state, specifically targeting Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. In response to Larijani's comments, Trump seemed to brush off the threat, stating, "I guess it's a threat. I'm not sure it's a threat, actually, but perhaps it is." This dismissive attitude, however, does little to quell the underlying concerns regarding the implications of such rhetoric. Just days before Larijani's comments, Grand Ayatollah Nazir Makarem Shirazi issued a fatwa, a religious decree, calling for the death of Trump and Netanyahu, labeling them as enemies of God. This fatwa was reportedly a reaction to the recent conflict between Israel and Iran, which saw the U.S. involved in military strikes against Iranian targets. The cleric's decree states that both leaders have waged war against Allah and must face severe consequences, including execution or other brutal punishments as outlined by Iranian law. Such declarations have raised alarms among international observers and critics of the Iranian regime, who argue that these threats amount to state-sanctioned incitement to terrorism. The situation escalates further when considering the historical context. Last year, U.S. prosecutors charged an Iranian agent with plotting to kill Trump as an act of vengeance for the assassination of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani, which was ordered by Trump himself. This agent was reportedly instructed by the Iranian Revolutionary Guard to devise a plan to eliminate the then-president-elect. Trump's former national security advisor, John Bolton, has stated that Trump remains a top target for Iran, emphasizing the extensive reach of Iran's terror network. In a recent Truth Social post, Trump claimed that he saved Khamenei from an ugly death during the recent conflict, asserting that he was aware of the supreme leader's whereabouts but chose not to act on that information. This self-proclaimed mercy was met with skepticism, especially given the backdrop of Khamenei's claims of victory over Israel despite significant losses to Iranian forces. The Ayatollah's assertions of triumph have been widely criticized as delusional, especially considering the military dominance displayed by the Israeli Defense Forces during the conflict. As tensions continue to mount, experts warn that Iran may resort to activating sleeper cells across the West in response to perceived threats. Security analysts have indicated that these sleeper cells, which could include ordinary citizens, may be poised to carry out terror operations if given the signal. This potential for asymmetric warfare raises serious concerns about the safety of not only political figures like Trump, but also civilians in Western nations. The Iranian regime, facing internal and external pressures, may feel compelled to demonstrate its strength through acts of terror, further destabilizing an already volatile region. In the UK, authorities have reported numerous threats linked to Iranian agents, with MI5 warning of assassination and kidnapping plots targeting dissidents and critics of the regime. The chilling reality of these threats has prompted calls for urgent action from international leaders, including sanctions against key figures within the Iranian government. Prominent voices have urged the U.S. and its allies to take a firm stance against the Iranian regime, emphasizing the need for accountability for those who propagate violence and terror. As the world watches these developments unfold, the stakes have never been higher. The threats against Trump and other leaders represent not only a personal danger, but also a challenge to global stability. The international community must remain vigilant and proactive in addressing the growing menace posed by a regime that seems increasingly willing to resort to violence to achieve its aims. In conclusion, the provocative statements made by Iranian officials, coupled with the historical context of threats against Trump, underscore the precarious nature of international relations in the current climate. The potential for violence looms large, and it is imperative that steps are taken to mitigate the risks posed by a regime that has demonstrated a willingness to incite terror in pursuit of its goals. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.